I don't want to go home. This is the most expensive and, at the same time, cheapest sentence I've ever said. My name is Kobayashi, 38 years old this year. She has a 9-year-old daughter, a husband who has been married for 12 years. When saying the word husband, I already feel like I'm somewhat unfamiliar with this situation. We have been sharing a bed for almost 3 years now. He's very busy with work. Leave early and return late. Sometimes I wake up in the morning. Has he come back last night? I don't even know anymore. He's already being very polite, after all. 80% of our conversations involve children. 15% relates to hydropower properties. The remaining 5% is silent. As for those matters, when was the last time? I've already forgotten it. It was probably at some unknown night without any warning at all. He approached me as if he had completed some kind of task. There was no eye contact throughout the entire process. After the session is over, turn around. Slept within 30 seconds. I lie in the darkness, staring at the ceiling. It seems even more uncomfortable than not having anything at all. After that, I stopped letting him carry out the tasks. He was also happy to have some free time off. That's how we live. Days pass by like a cup of plain water that has cooled down too much. No longer hot enough to drink. But it's not possible to detect any taste at all. The change happened in my mother. Her hands have been shaking for almost half a year now. This is especially noticeable when holding cups in your hands. Later, even eating with both hands became difficult. I took him to the Department of Neurology. The doctor suspects Parkinson's disease. I became panicked all of a sudden. Just when I was in a mess and in trouble, a friend reminded me that, do you know any people who work in the hospital? I've searched through the entire contact list. Suddenly, I remembered a name, Zhao Chun. Chun is a classmate from my high school days. At that time, he was truly outstanding. I'm about 1.80 meters in height, and I can play basketball. The contours of the facial features are very distinct. I smile with my eyes slightly tilting downward. It's hard to determine whether it's a sign of tenderness or arrogance. There's always enough girls around him. Actually, we didn't talk much at all. He is that kind of person who exists across the entire galaxy from me. But I admit that I paid attention to him at that time. It's not that I like it. It's just one kind of thing. How can it be said that instinctual attraction exists? He has the characteristics of a young person. A rare aura of calmness and stability on his body. After that, I graduated from high school. Everyone goes their own way. Later on, I heard someone in the class group say that he studied medicine. I studied all the way until I got my doctorate. I currently work at a top-tier hospital in the provincial capital. I'm already the vice president. To be honest, I approached this with a sense of uncertainty. Sent him a WeChat message. The message has been sent. It's been about 40 minutes already. He replied to Xiaolin, long time no see. I want you to send me a message about that, auntie. I will arrange it for you. 2 days later, he successfully arranged a consultation with a specialist for me. The day I took my mom with me. Waiting in the outpatient hall of the hospital. Actually, there was a thought that kept running through my mind all along. Will he come?
He's here.
He's walking towards us from the end of the hallway. I almost didn't recognize her at all. The 42-year-old man is a bit wider than he was in high school. But I'm not fat at all. It's the kind of man who has gone through the trials of time. Afterwards, what remains are a sense of stability and strength. The white coat was open to the side. Inside there is a dark blue shirt. The cuffs are rolled up to the elbow level. A portion of the wrist was visible, along with a very simple-looking watch. My hair is shorter now than it used to be. How many white hairs can be found in the temples? But the contours of that face hardly changed at all. Even with the added advantage of age, it seems more authoritative, important. He walked over. First, I said hello to my mother. The tone of voice is gentle and natural. Then his gaze turned towards me. Smiled slightly. You remain the same as always. At that moment, my heart rate indeed increased by half a beat. He helped us with all the running around. Informed the doctor about the situation. He personally drove us to the parking lot. My mom kept talking non-stop beside me. That young man is really great. I got into the car, looking at him through the rearview mirror. The figure walked back towards the outpatient building. Suddenly, I felt like there was something stuck in my chest. I would like to thank him. I really want to thank him. I bought a supermarket card worth 500 yuan. The next day, I went to the hospital to give it to him. He pushed back and smiled. Stop being like this, old friend.
It's a simple task to complete.
He didn't collect the card at all. I really feel guilty about it. Then I sent another WeChat message. Say something like, please treat him to a meal. He replied with just one word, okay. That meal was scheduled for an evening on a Friday. I skipped half of my shift that afternoon. I went home and took a shower. I changed 3 sets of clothes before deciding what to wear. Finally, I chose a black knitted sweater, a pair of dark gray trousers with wide legs, light makeup applied. I stared at myself in the mirror for a long time. Tried to convince oneself. It's just an ordinary meal to express gratitude. But I know that it isn't the case. Because it's been a long time since I last did something like this. I really want to meet that person, so I carefully looked myself in the mirror. He arrived at 7 o'clock. It was 15 minutes late compared to the scheduled time. There was a lot of wind when I entered. The sound of closing the private room door was very quiet. He said that they just finished one meeting. I didn't even have time to take off my tie. Deep blue tie. Light gray shirt. The cufflinks are silver in color. It's very small, but very bright. We sat down. I ordered a bottle of red wine. The atmosphere at the beginning was somewhat formal. Later, half a bottle of wine was already drunk. Now, let's talk more about this topic. He asked me what I do for a living. How old is the child? I wonder if the accommodation is too far away. Every problem is handled in the perfect way. He has a habit when he listens to people talk. Tilting the head slightly to the side, staring straight at you. Occasionally, I nod my head slightly. You might think what you said is. He listened to every word carefully. Then he asked me, what does your husband do for a living? I remained silent for a few seconds. I really don't know which muscle got misconnected during the process. I suddenly said something. Our relationship isn't very good. The moment it was spoken out, I regretted it right away. He looked at me, showing a surprised expression. Just asked a question. What happened? Maybe it's because of that drink. It's possible that it hasn't been used for a very long time. He asked me with a tone of voice, what's wrong with you? Tears suddenly welled up in my eyes. And then I started to speak. From talking about sleeping in separate beds to having nothing to say at all. From having nothing to say to being complete strangers. I said it all at the end. My voice is almost completely lost. It's been almost 3 years since we last had sexual intercourse as a couple. The moment this sentence is spoken, I was actually a little scared myself. I have never said this to anyone ever. Never. It's like something that's buried deep in the bottom of the heart. It has become moldy. It has deteriorated. I thought it would never be exposed to light again. But on this night, it fell out completely without any warning. I cried. not in the way that involves silently shedding tears. It's because my shoulders are shaking, tears that just keep falling uncontrollably. I feel extremely embarrassed. Then he stood up. He walked around the table. I sat down on the chair next to me. 2 pieces of paper were taken from the desk. I reached out and wiped the tears from my face. The texture of the tissue paper is quite rough, but his fingers were soft. Then he placed his hand on my shoulder. I stood still, unable to move forward. The weight and temperature of that hand. It's too hot from the heat of the knitting sweater, making me feel uncomfortable everywhere. The portrait was nailed to the chair. I know what I should do. Stand up and express your thanks politely. Then we changed the subject of conversation. Normal eating after meals. A normal goodbye. Returning home to my cold and chilly house. But I didn't move at all. I didn't manage to get free from them. I even unconsciously tilted my body slightly to the side. He moved closer to him, just a little bit. He felt it. His hand slipped from my shoulder down to the back of my head. She gently pressed my head against his shoulder. I didn't refuse. The obedient one leaned forward towards the past. His forehead pressed against his clavicle. There is his scent all over my nose. The fragrant smell of laundry detergent mixed with a faint hint of the smell of tobacco, and that unique scent that belongs solely to him. I leaned on his shoulder for about 10 seconds. Then I became conscious again. I can't really say what it was that made me wake up. Maybe the phone suddenly vibrated. It could also be that it's in my mind. Suddenly, the image of my daughter appeared in my mind. I suddenly sat up straight. Moved aside by 1/2 meter. I said, "I'm sorry." I don't dare look at him. He didn't say anything. The private room remained quiet for a few seconds. Then he picked up the wine bottle and poured a glass for me. That movement was carried out with great ease, as if it seems like nothing happened at all just now. We didn't mention that moment again. We talked until after 10 o'clock. We didn't leave the restaurant until it was already closing time. He called for a car, and it arrived soon. He opened the car door for me to get in first. Then I sat on the other side of the back row. The car started up. The street lights outside the window are fading away one by one. The carriage was very dark. Only the dashboard emits a faint light. None of us said anything. Then his hand reached out towards me. His movements were very slow. So slow that you have plenty of time to dodge and refuse. Then his little finger hooked onto my little finger. Just a joint of a finger. Light as if it were a test. I didn't move at all. His entire hand was covered with it. The palm of your hand is pressed against my backhand. At that moment, all I had in my mind was one thought only. My hands haven't been used for 3 years. The hand of another person has been held in this way before. His hands are quite large. Well-defined bones and joints. My fingers trembled slightly between his fingers. He felt it. I tried to hold it a little tighter. The thumb slowly made a circle on the back of my hand. I didn't draw it back. The car passed through an intersection. Another intersection. It's about 2 kilometers away from home now. He let go of my hand. I thought it was over. Then he stretched out his arms. They blocked my shoulders. I was brought closer to him completely. His other hand raised my chin. I slowly raised my head passively. In the dim interior of the carriage.
It caught his eye.
Those eyes appeared very deep and solemn in the dim light. The way he looked at me was the same as when I was in high school. The boy who passed by on the hallway. That day when my mother was in the hospital with me. Those old classmates who are friendly and warm towards others are all different from each other. It's the kind of gaze that I'm not familiar with from adult men. Directly fiery, with something that cannot be questioned. He got closer to me. I responded to him. When the car stopped downstairs at my house. It's almost 11 o'clock now. The lights upstairs are off. My husband is on a business trip. The child is with my mother. I'm alone, facing a completely empty room. I don't want to go in at all. I said that I don't want to go home. He stared at me for a few seconds. Then I mentioned the name of a hotel to the driver. I didn't go home that night. I spent these 3 years or even longer being suppressed and ignored for a long time. Everything that was extinguished. It all came out during one night. He made me feel like a woman. It's not a mother. It's not a wife. It's not a daughter. It's not a staff member. She is simply a normal woman. The woman who is seen? Starting from that night onward, I've changed. I bought a new pajamas. I've changed my perfume. I'll start going to the gym twice a week now. I'm starting to experiment with new makeup styles. I'm now spending 3 times as much money on clothes as I used to. One day, my daughter suddenly said to me something. "Mom, you look so beautiful today." I smiled. But inside it feels sour. Because I know why I'm becoming more beautiful. It's not for oneself. It's not for the husband. It's for every week. Those 1 or 2 meetings that took place back then. The restaurant near the hospital is one of our favorite places to go to. I arrived 1 hour ahead of schedule. Then I turned on the dim light on the bedside lamp, waiting for him. Generally, he arrives after 8 p.m. Sometimes it's even later. When he enters the room, he always carries with him the smell of hospitals. Disinfectant hand sanitizer, and it's on his body too. That distinctive, clean scent of human body odor. It was probably more than a month after we started being together. He started making some demands. At the beginning, they were just harmless in nature. Later, it was gradually upgraded. When he made those requests, the tone is very natural. It seems like these things are taken for granted. But I know that it isn't the case. Because there are many things to take care of. I have lived for 38 years, have been married and had children. Women who believe they have experienced everything. Never thought about it at all. My words changed his expression completely. It's not that I'm angry. It's not an act of anger. There weren't any intense emotions at all. He simply stopped smiling. They remained silent for 2 seconds. Then he said simply, "Okay, then forget it," and he turned around. I picked up the phone. "Okay, right? Then forget it." Compared to any kind of argument, that's still something I'm afraid of. Because that means his attention has been diverted. He can end this at any moment. And I don't want to end this. That's what I have the most in my possession. Most lamentable. The thing that makes me feel the most disgusted about myself is, I don't want to end this. It's not because I love him that much. I don't know if that is love. Because he can evoke that sense of being alive. I can't stop myself from doing it. I can't stop myself from waiting for him to come back into the room. That one is bright and colorful. I was so passionate, and now that I have lost him, it will return to that state of being in those cold, dull days again. Bed sharing. A woman who doesn't even glance at her husband. I don't want to go back to my previous state. That's why I said it's okay. I agreed to him. Those things that I never did to anyone else at all. I have accepted it. Every time he leaves. I lay in bed, staring at the light on the ceiling. The room was quiet and peaceful. I will cry only because of the sound of the air conditioner. It's not because of regrets. It's something that's difficult to describe clearly. The cold that seeps through the bones. I feel like I've sold myself away. It wasn't bought with money. I bought it with the words needed. The little bit of attention he gave me. That little bit of the way he looked at me, that is all of my compensation. And I accepted everything without hesitation. I've been having trouble sleeping recently. I couldn't sleep at all night long, lying in bed, listening to my own heartbeat. Then I picked up my phone and checked his social media posts. His friends can be seen every 3 days. Most of the time, it remains a horizontal line, but I still will translate it anyway. I will see if he likes the WeChat sports I post. Sometimes he will give praise. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. I will use a like button to determine his mood today, to determine how much influence I still have over him. I know that this is quite ridiculous. A 38-year-old woman, a mother with children, like a high school girl, using the like button on WeChat sports to measure one's own value. But that's just how I am. This is why I want to submit my work now. It's not because I need advice. I know what I should do. Stop loss reached. It's time to go home. Being a good mother, I understand these principles better than anyone else. I just want to type out these words. Let someone see them, because this matter has been tormenting me for too long. It's been so long that I almost don't recognize myself anymore. My name is 𝔀𝓮, a 38-year-old woman with a 9-year-old daughter. A person who doesn't touch my husband at all. And someone turned me into something else. A high school classmate of mine. This is my story. There is no ending. The beautiful female neighbor downstairs from me. I ended up killing myself just in 1 year. My name is 𝓻𝓮. Living on the 6th floor of an old residential building. What I want to talk about today is something downstairs from me. A female neighbor on the 5th floor. For convenience, let's call her 𝔀𝓮. We have lived in this neighborhood for several years now. Go and buy it quickly. Upstairs and downstairs. Don't look up, and you won't see anyone down below. It will eventually become cooked. What should we say about this person, 𝔀𝓮? It does look pretty good indeed. It's not something that comes from being dressed up nicely. It's good that it's a basic foundation. White skin, delicate features. The body is also well proportioned. Even when wearing a pajama, it's still possible to go downstairs to pick up deliveries. It seems like they are more energetic than average people. Her husband's name is 𝓻𝓮. He's an honest person. The welders work with construction teams, traveling around the country all year round. I only come back 2 or 3 times a year. I don't know much about this person named 𝓻𝓮, but we've met a few times already. Tall and strong. It's rare to see people smiling without saying anything. I heard from 𝔀𝓮 that the army members earn more than $10,000 per month. I only kept $2,000 for spending on cigarettes and food. The rest can be sent back home with him. They have a daughter. I am in the 2nd grade of elementary school. Normally, it's 𝔀𝓮 who takes care of it. In the past few years, it seemed to be quite normal. 𝔀𝓮 took the children to shop around. Swipe your phone. The army is making money outside, although we are often apart from each other. But life goes on as usual. The changes started last year. I can't remember exactly which month it was. It was probably last spring, right? One day I met 𝔀𝓮 downstairs. He was holding several shopping bags in his hands. There was a kind of light on her face, something I have never seen before. He took the initiative to say hello to me. Then we started talking with that new friend we met. He said that during the weekend he went shopping. I met a man in the mall. That man was driving a car that clearly wasn't cheap at all. Just looking at their clothing and appearance, it's clear they are wealthy people. And she is a few years younger than 𝔀𝓮, still not married. He chased me very closely. When 𝔀𝓮 said these words to me, their eyes were shining brightly, sending messages every day, giving gifts every now and then. They also said that they didn't care that I was the wife of someone else. I felt a sudden rush of excitement when I heard that sentence. But after all, they are neighbors. It's not appropriate to say anything too dramatic either. I simply said something polite and gentle. You are a person with a family. It's still necessary to be careful. Don't cause any trouble. 𝓀𝓮𝓮 smiled but didn't respond. But I can see that. She's already gotten caught up in it. It's been less than a month, I think. The situation has gotten quite serious. That evening, I'm coming home from work. Just arrived at the entrance of the unit. I heard a lot of noise upstairs. The army has returned from other places. The couple was crying and shouting inside the house while also throwing things around along the way. The entire building was listening attentively. Later, I gathered some information from other neighbors. I have a general idea of what's going on. 𝓀𝓮 and that young man. This matter was discovered by the large army. The army demanded that she not divorce, saying it's for the sake of the child. Give him one more chance. I know quite well about this person named 𝓬𝓸𝓶𝓮. He is truly honest. When he sat down in the hallway and started crying, I just passed by accidentally. A man who's about 1.80 meters in height, crying so hard that it's hard to breathe. That sentence keeps coming back in my mouth. I'm outside, exposed to the wind and sun. Work hard to make money. Isn't it all for this family? But 𝓀𝓮 is determined to do it anyway. She said she didn't want to go through that kind of life of being widowed forever. She said that in addition to sending money, the army will also do something else. Nothing can be given to her. She said she met someone who truly cared about her well-being. That man is wealthy, has a taste for beauty, and understands what romance really means. I don't really care whether she is married or not. The army members knelt down and pleaded with her. She didn't even try to let go of the subject. The divorce procedures were handled very quickly. The child was awarded to 𝓬𝓮𝓹. The army returned to their hometown with their daughters. It was said that his mother was asked to help take care of him. 𝓀𝓮𝓮 has received her due share of the savings. I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but I heard that it's the money that the army has been sending back over the years. A considerable amount has been saved. After the divorce, 𝓀𝓮𝓮 moved away. I moved in with that young man. I met her in the hallway on the day she moved away. She looked beautiful in her new clothes, carrying the suitcases, with a smile on my face. He also said something like, "Fang. I'm leaving now. We've had good days already." I felt a mix of emotions at that time. I don't know whether to offer blessings or to sigh in disappointment. I just nodded my head slightly. Said something like, "Take care of yourself." To be honest, I even felt a little jealous of him during that time. I think he has quite a lot of courage. Dare to love and hate. It was said to be done right away, although the method isn't very elegant. But what if we actually find a better place to settle down? In less than a year, the results were already in. I immediately realized that I was wrong. It was probably at the end of last year. 𝓀𝓮𝓮 suddenly appeared in the community again. But this time, I almost didn't recognize him at all. He has lost too much weight. It seemed like someone had drained every last bit of energy from the person. The cheeks are sunken down, deeply sunken eye sockets. The lips are pale. Their hair was also cut very short. I only found out later. That wasn't cut out of anything else. It's because of the chemotherapy that causes hair loss. Those that he voluntarily shaved off himself. He saw me. Tried to smile, but only managed to get a half smile. But that smile was even more ugly than crying. I said, "𝓀𝓮𝓮, what's wrong with you? Are you sick?" His eyes turned red. I couldn't hold back and cried on the spot. Later, he went upstairs to find me, sitting on the sofa in my house. Tell me everything that happened this year. That so-called wealthy single man, actually. He's simply a scammer. That man doesn't have any real business at all. He really knows how to drive a car well. But that car was rented. He definitely wore famous brand clothes and wore his watch properly. But those items are either highly imitations of the original products. It was either purchased with a credit card. He doesn't have any money at all. I still have a huge amount of debt from online loans and credit cards. The reason he turned to 𝔀𝓮 for help. That's because 𝔀𝓮 is beautiful and already married. And I'm not satisfied with life at all. It's best to deceive people like this. He doesn't mind that 𝔀𝓮 is someone else's wife, because he didn't have any intention of marrying 𝔀𝓮 at all. After 𝔀𝓮 got to be with him. At first, it did seem like a good time. He went around playing the violin and eating with everyone he met along the way. Sharing my wealth with friends on social media. But it didn't take long at all. He started looking for all sorts of reasons to ask 𝓀𝓮 for money. It all started with business needs. The capital chain is tight. 𝔀𝓮 gave some of them. Then I was tricked by my partners. I need money urgently to cover this debt. 𝔀𝓮 gave more again. After that, my bank account was frozen. I'll pay off those online loans within a couple of days. 𝔀𝓮's savings were gradually depleted bit by bit. 𝔀𝓮 told me. I later calculated the numbers, totaling over 200,000 units, if you calculate everything together. That is all the savings I have accumulated over the years. Wait until 𝔀𝓮's savings are all gone. That man suddenly changed his expression. He began to find 𝔀𝓮 annoying, always complaining and criticizing others. Later, they even started to take action. 𝔀𝓮 argued with him. He just said, "Why don't you at least take a look at what kind of person you really are? Have been divorced and raised children. I asked for your help because I respect you enough." After that, that man completely disappeared. The phone won't connect. Blocked in WeChat. The rented house has also been returned. 𝔀𝓮 searched everywhere for her lost things. It's completely impossible to find them at all. When 𝔀𝓮 told me this story, I'm trembling all over. She said that often. The last thing I regret in my life. It means trust him. I refuse to leave my beautiful home behind. Why not keep your good husband instead? Don't abandon these innocent children. I ran away with a scammer. Am I stupid? I couldn't say a word. There's something even worse behind that. Perhaps the extreme fluctuations this year have been quite exhausting. Maybe it's because I get angry every day. I keep thinking about this every day. I can't sleep every day. 𝔀𝓮's body completely collapsed. She began to feel unwell, feeling weak and lackluster overall. No appetite to eat. Then it started to hurt. I went to the hospital to get tested for cancer. He didn't go into details about the specific illness. I didn't feel like asking any more questions either. But he told me. The doctor said that this disease is related to prolonged emotional distress and irritability. The high pressure is closely related to this situation. 𝔀𝓮 told me herself. Fang, there wasn't even one day this year that I felt comfortable. After being deceived and losing money, I can't figure it out every day. I hate myself every day. Getting angry every day. That energy just won't go away. It's all trapped inside the body. Now everything is fine. I'm really going to get sick if I keep holding it in like this. When he said these words, the tone was particularly calm. The calmness is actually frightening. Currently, 𝔀𝓮 is undergoing chemotherapy. She told me that chemotherapy is extremely painful. It was a complete mess from start to finish. Hairs are falling off in clumps. My whole body hurts with pain in every bone. Moreover, the cost of treatment is quite high. All of his savings is now gone. It's all based on borrowing money to keep going. He has already borrowed money from his parents and his parents' family. Damn it, they've visited him once already. I haven't visited there since I returned. I heard from 𝔀𝓮𝓮 that he thinks she's being embarrassed by this situation. Everyone in the entire street knows about this. Damn it, told relatives about it. I raised such a shameless daughter. I can't even look up at people in this life. She has talked to her ex-husband 𝓬𝓮. The army didn't say anything unpleasant, anyway. But they didn't give any money either. The general said that he got divorced back then. It's really impressive that they can say things like that. Something happened again, and I'm back to deal with it. He doesn't have that obligation either. And the army also carries children with them. I'm not in good health either. I really don't have the money to pay for it. What makes 𝔀𝓮𝓮 feel the most pain is the child herself. Her daughter is currently studying in her hometown with the army. 𝔀𝓮𝓮 has called her daughter several times. My daughter didn't answer at first. Then it was taken over later on. But his speech was particularly harsh. Once 𝔀𝓮𝓮 told me. The daughter said to her through the phone, "Mom, Grandma said that you've done something very wrong. Let's not learn from you." One of the students in our class also mentioned you as the person involved in that incident. It's said that you're not a good mother. When 𝔀𝓮𝓮 said this, he cried, crouching down on the ground. She wants to see her child once. But the family members of the army didn't agree with this decision. She also doesn't have the face to insist on meeting someone. I met 𝓬𝓮 at the entrance of the community a couple of days ago.
He's back to handle his affairs.
I went shopping with my daughter at the doorstep. The little girl was wearing her school uniform, holding a ponytail. Looks pretty happy. The army is a bit older than before, but I'm still in a good mood. I hesitated for a moment. I didn't have the chance to say hello before going up. I really don't know what to say either. 𝔀𝓮𝓮 currently lives alone in the rental house next to the hospital. After chemotherapy, I'll go back and lie down. I will go to the hospital by myself during the next chemotherapy session. She no longer has any friends. Those old friends from before. Or maybe they just think what she did is too shameful. I don't want to keep in touch with her anymore. Or maybe she's too afraid of borrowing money from her. There isn't even a single person around her who would talk to her. I occasionally go to the hospital to see her, bring her some food, or just sit for a while. Her current appearance is very similar to what I remember from my memories. The pretty little 𝓮 doesn't even compare to her current appearance at all. My hair is almost completely gone. The face was pale as wax, thin as skin, full of bones. I don't even have the strength to speak properly. Every time I leave the hospital, I really don't feel good at all. I'm thinking about that. What if 𝔀𝓮𝓮 never took that step in the first place? If she behaves properly and honestly, even if there are complaints about the large army, even if you think life is boring, at least she still has a complete home. Although the army is located in a different place, but I will send money back on time every month. It's not too bad for her anyway. The child is so cute. It's so sticky for him, if he didn't cheat on her. I didn't go along with that scammer at all. His savings are still there. His body won't collapse at all. His parents won't find it embarrassing at all. His child also affectionately calls him Mom. His friends also came to visit him when he was sick. But now, the money is gone and my body is in ruins. Parents find it embarrassing. The child doesn't recognize him at all. All my friends have run away. I can't even hope to survive anymore. Everything started when he stepped forward. It's been less than a year since that step was taken. I really am not a saint at all. I also don't want to stand on the moral high ground and blame others. But I saw 𝓀𝓮 in this state. I truly believe that women who are married should not engage in promiscuity at all. If you feel that your husband is not good to you, you can communicate with them. It's okay to argue with each other. You can seek mediation with your family members. You can consult about this. I really can't go on like this anymore. You can also get a proper divorce. After getting divorced, I decided to find someone else. Even if the choices made aren't perfect, at least you possess the word reason. At least no one will point at your spine and scold you for that. But you must definitely avoid cheating during your marriage. And don't trust those people who know that you are already married. Men who still try to flirt with you. Those men? As long as there are some basic principles to follow, a little conscience related, they definitely won't ever try to approach a married woman. He will definitely try to flirt with you. That means he doesn't have any boundaries at all. Men without any principles at all. He can be kind to you today. I can ruin you tomorrow. 𝓀𝓮 is still undergoing chemotherapy right now. The doctor said that there is a high risk of life-threatening complications. I went to see him at the hospital a couple of days ago. He lay on the hospital bed, staring at the ceiling. I have no idea what's on his mind. I called out his name. He turned his head to look at me. Tears started flowing suddenly. He said that, 𝓻𝓮, I regret it. I really regret it now. I held her hand. I don't know what to say. What's the use of feeling regret? There is no such thing as a regret drug in this world. This is the story of that female neighbor downstairs from me. A beautiful woman in just 1 year time. I killed myself with my own hands, told this story out loud. I just want everyone to know about it. Some mistakes are simply too serious to be made. Some paths are so difficult to retrace back after having been taken along them.